Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The US Coast Guard says rescuers searching for a tourist submarine near the Titanic wreck in the North Atlantic have heard noises in the area near where it went missing on Sunday. It says a Canadian P-3 plane using sonar buoys heard the sounds, which US Navy experts are now analysing. Additional sonar was used 4 hours later and noises could still be heard. 5 people were on the vessel when contact was lost an hour and 45 minutes into its dive, or more than halfway down towards the wreck on Sunday. Search authorities estimate that the sub has fewer than 30 hours of oxygen left, meaning supplies are set to run out by about 10 a.m. on Thursday morning.
As we've been hearing, it's super challenging. For the water depth is one big thing. If it's on the bottom of the ocean, it's very few subs can actually get that far, and also the search area is huge. I think I've heard one report saying they're trying to find a mine in a minefield. It's super small, and if you're in the Titanic wreckage, there's all the other things there. So where's the sub and where's everything else? So that's super challenging.
4 Israelis, including a teenage boy, have been shot dead in an attack near a settlement in the occupied West Bank. 4 others were wounded when 2 Palestinian gunmen opened fire at a restaurant and petrol station. One attacker was shot dead at the scene by an armed civilian, while the second fled in a stolen car and was later killed by Israeli forces in the town of Tubas. Israel's Prime Minister said all options were open in response to what he called the shocking terrorist attack. A spokesman for Hamas said the shooting was a response to an Israeli military raid in Jenin on Monday, in which 7 Palestinians were killed. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has acknowledged battlefield progress has been slower than desired, weeks into the country's military offensive to recapture areas occupied by Russia. He said some people believe this is a Hollywood movie and expect results now. It's not. Analysts say the push is hampered because 200,000 square kilometers of Ukrainian territory had been mined by Russian forces. Ukraine says its counteroffensive has reclaimed 8 villages in the southern region of Zaporizhia and Donetsk so far. The European Union has announced that the bloc will provide Ukraine with a financial aid package of €50 billion. Of the aid pledge, funds provided by EU member states will mainly come in free grants and loans, which will be dispersed to Ukraine over the next 4 years, from 2024 to 2027. Meanwhile, a senior World Bank official says Ukraine's economy will need external help for many years to come.
Our partners have already pledged $4.3 billion.
At the Ukraine Recovery Conference in London, the country's Prime Minister said they still needed $6.5 billion for rapid recovery for the next 12 months. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak launched a war insurance framework to try to spur companies to invest.
This is a huge step forward towards helping insurers to underwrite investments into Ukraine, removing one of the biggest barriers and giving investors the confidence they need to act. With this and everything that we do here, we are sending a message that our support on the battlefield and beyond cannot be outlasted, and that Ukraine's incredible spirit will prevail.
The Tesla CEO, Elon Musk, has said the electric car maker will be in India as soon as humanly possible. His comments followed a meeting with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is on a state visit to the United States. The Indian government said it had invited Mr. Musk to explore investment opportunities in electric mobility and the commercial space sector. Mr. Musk said he was trying to figure out the right timing to make that happen. And several thousand people have celebrated summer solstice at Britain's Stonehenge, watching the sun rise behind the ancient stone circle built by our Neolithic ancestors over 4,500 years ago. The summer solstice marks the longest day of the year and the start of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. It has been celebrated for millennia at Stonehenge, a World Heritage Site in the southwest county of Wiltshire. The crowd of pagan and Christian worshippers cheered, played cymbals and clapped as the sun rose over the horizon shortly before 4 a.m. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.